Alright, in today's vlog, we're going to be talking about homeschooling. We have a 10 and a 5-year-old, and we're going to be talking about what we do with their schooling, how we do it, some of the tools we use, some of the locations we use. Let's kind of dive in. I thought it'd be an interesting topic. I'm seeing a lot of people post questions about it. So let's show you what we do and how we do it. Now, and also, we really need to bring in Mama Bear. Come on. As she is the main mastermind of homeschooling, I'm just doing my best to video and get the information out. But Kristen probably will pipe in every once in a while with some details that I clearly don't understand. Okay, so let's first show you the space, and then we'll show you pretty light some of the curriculum we're using. I won't go into curriculum reviews, but just so you get an idea of some of the curriculum if you want to look it up. And then other activities that I would say outside of curriculum that are educational and that work for our kids. But I just want to give some information for you guys so you can start your research process. You get the truck, Jesse. You get it. Okay. All right, let's show you the space first. So we are in a, focus on my face. Right. We are in a Class C RV, and we have converted the loft, which is typically either a bed or sometimes I've seen it as like a big TV storage area. We've converted ours to a kid space. So it does kind of two main functions. One is it is storage for a lot of their activities. That will span from not only school-related activities, but also busy time, free time, Legos, cars, trains, that kind of thing. And then the second is just an open space for them to have places to do things that isn't in the main kind of floor space that really makes this RV kind of feel cluttered and then a little claustrophobic. So by keeping all of their stuff up and away, it really helps designate where they're allowed to have all their stuff and then where it's really expected to be kind of kept a little bit cleaner. All right, so the first is Keegan, can you scooch over? I want to show them the storage space. Thank you. So the first is this IKEA storage solution. Do you remember what this one's called? I don't know. I'll put the name down below. But it is a standard shelving system from IKEA. It was relatively inexpensive bucket system. And you can really configure how many sections you want. IKEA has a bunch of different sizes. And then you can even configure what size bins you have. So some of the bins we have are quite small. Oh no! So you have small ones like this art supply one. Thank you. To this super big one that goes all the way back and it's just kind of like 2 layers deep. And that way you can store whatever you want. So some of them are books, some of them are workbooks, some of them are pencils and crayons as you saw, and some of them are just like regular art supplies just as a bucket to kind of contain miscellaneous items.
And trains and toys.
Trains and toys and cars and all kinds of stuff. So everything kind of the kids have is that kind of miscellaneous toys I'd say are up there. Okay, so I made it darker so you can see it. There are kind of those 3 activities. They didn't really fit in a bucket. They came in their own box. One is math supplies. They're like counting blocks. That's just fine. Just leave them. One is like a tangram kind of building thing more for Kensler magnets. It's kind of cool. And then the third one is this really sweet iPad numbers and letters game that Kensler plays. So they're interactive activities. All right, we can put them back. You can go sit there again. And then, so from a construction standpoint, there's really only 2 pieces. We put a hardwood floor down. It's the same floor that's in the rest of the RV. And then Kristen found this really cool foam map. I will link it down below. It's very similar to like those ABC kind of kid blocks you'll find. They're just foam, and they're just like kind of Legoed and stuck together. You can get them as big or as small as you want. So we stuck it up there so that way if they're laying down, they're not right on kind of vinyl flooring and plywood. They've got some squish. What do you think, Keegan? You like these?
Yeah, they're really comfortable. So real quick on these mats, these are by Little Nomads, and the whole point with the mats is that they are constructed like a rug. So they are designed with design in mind, for lack of a better way to say it. So you can get them in these awesome patterns. They've got several different patterns, so they don't look like the big colorful play mats that you typically would find. They look more like a rug, but they provide the same function as a play mat. So that's why I went with these. I think they look great. And yeah, instead of having a rug up here, we have something that's multifunctional. So just wanted to pop in and say that.
It is still definitely a work in progress, but we have put together a little entertainment section, I guess I should call it. Mainly it is just a computer with a monitor. It was an old computer, it was a Mac Mini, so it fits really nicely up there. But we needed the kids to have a space where they could do a couple things. One is some of their school is online, and then some of their just kind of educational free activities are using online tools. If you've seen other videos, we have a pretty good wireless system set up. I'll link that here. And
The other way.
it's here? I don't know. It'll be up there. And so they have a pretty good way to get to the internet in most locations. Keegan is also currently working
on coding.
So he'll give you a review of that in a second. So it allows us to really allow them to pursue their interests, but also, again, be out of the main space where it's getting so cluttered sometimes with them trying to do school down here. Pushing them up there allows Kristen and I to work down below, and them to work up above. Plus, they're small. They're tiny people still, so they can fit.
As far as curriculum goes, we have really fine-tuned what works best for our kids. Now, that's part of the thing that you want to do for your own kids. It's all a trial and error for the first year or so until you get everything kind of situated and understood as far as how your kids are learning and all of that. But anyway, some of our curriculum that we use are the All About Learning programs. So I use All About Spelling for Keegan. We started at the foundation level. This is mastery based, which is awesome, which means it builds upon itself. So you can start at any age at the foundation level and grow up from there. All of the curriculums that we use are the mastery based kind of curriculum, which mean they can go at their own pace as well, which is really awesome as far as going through a homeschool road school system. So along with the All About Learning, we also do All About Reading. This is the foundation level for Kensler, who is now 5. This is the foundation level for the All About Reading, and again, this will go up from there. For Keegan, we do also use grammar. I have, this one has coloring on it from Kensler. This is the Fix-It Grammar. I highly recommend this book for grammar learning. It also has built-in vocabulary, rich vocabulary. What I love about this is that it is editorial based, again, also mastery based, but they are basically editing a novel and they're learning grammar along the way with that. And I think that is brilliant. It is in context and it is applicable, which is amazing. So if you're looking for a really good grammar, this might be a suggestion for you. As far as the handwriting goes, we do a lot of tech around here, so I think it is very important to also increase their handwriting capabilities as far as writing and cursive go. So we use the Handwriting Without Tears version of that. I have taught this at preschools and it has been amazing. This is the workbook for Kensler. Keegan also has a workbook for his level of cursive and such. So they do 1 or 2 worksheets out of here every day. Our math curriculum is the Math-U-See. Both of them are using the same program. Kensler is at the primer level because he is 5, and we kind of take this as he needs it. Again, with 5-year-olds and pre-K, a lot of their learning is through play, so don't be too hard on yourself when it comes to curriculum. You can kind of ease into it. With Keegan, I think he's 3 levels deep into the Math-U-See, which is amazing. He is really growing with it. And the math blocks that Andy and Keegan showed you earlier go along with the Math-U-See program. And it's all about building it and seeing it and then applying it. So
It's very visual.
it is very visual and it's multisensory,
Yeah.
which is really great for any learning ability.
Yeah, I mean, as a visual learner, I appreciate that.
So those are just kind of a really quick go through of our curriculum. If you have any other questions, leave those questions below and we will be happy to share additional information with you.
Yeah, I think that was all the main parts. I mean, I guess there's all the free play activities. We use like ABC Mouse for Kenzer, educational apps.
Khan Academy for
Khan
Keegan.
Academy is big for Keegan. That's free. They're great stuff on there. So you just kind of fill in your day. Another thing I suggest is creating a list. So when your kids are like, I'm bored, I want something to do. Here's a list of 20 things you can do that will keep you busy, that maybe aren't even iPad related, or at least are educational, so they can pick and learn something instead of just playing Angry Birds or whatever the popular game is of the day. Schooling for us is something we keep very focused on, but at the same time a pretty relaxed rate about. We want to make sure the kids are progressing. We want to make sure they're staying at target levels, but we also don't expect them to be learning everything from a workbook. We will always take a national park day with park rangers learning out in the wild versus learning out of a workbook, especially since we can. So you'll see a lot of days we just won't even worry about school because they're learning through actually going to some place and really experiencing that place and the history of it and why it's important, and they'll even get a lot of the math and science while on site for those locations. If you have any questions, would love to help you answer that or help you understand more of anything we're doing. So feel free to leave a comment below. We're going to be pushing out a lot of content around RVing, family life while traveling, and just kind of generic content about that. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. Would love your support that way. And we will see you guys in the next video. All right. See you later. Say bye, Keegan.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.